Okay. These are the three kinds of evangelism that Dr. Peter Wagner, well-known church evangelist, growth consultant, talks about in his book. And the present evangelism, as I said, this involves giving a testimony of what Christ has done for you. You can't if you don't know it. Sometimes people try to give somebody else's testimony. You can't give my testimony because you don't know what God has done for me. I can tell you anything, but for you to know yourself, you can't give my testimony. You ever see people try to give somebody else's testimony?
Right.
And they do it, and you can't do that. There's no way that you can give somebody else's testimony. The song used to say, "You don't know like I know what the Lord has done for me." You can't tell it. Let me tell it. What the Lord has done for me. So you can't give somebody's testimony. It is the presence evangelism involves giving the testimony of what Christ has done for you. If you want to write that down, presence evangelist is the testimony of what Christ has done for you. It's the testimony of what Christ has done for you. You need a pen. The testimony of what Christ has done for you. This is what it involves. The present, number one, presence evangelism is the testimony of what Christ has done for you. What He has done, not only what He's done, but what He has done in your life, and sharing your faith with others. Sometimes you can encourage people that's going through something that you've already been through. You cannot tell them that God will make a way out of no way when you always had everything. Mm-hmm. You know, you can't say that God will pay a bill when all your bills are paid on time all the time. You can't do that. But when you've been to the point where you don't know how you're going to pay your bill, and you depend on God, and out of nowhere, He come and pay that bill. Amen. You can say, I know God will make a way. I know God will pay that bill. You ever had a bill or something like that due? And when you went to pay it, they said, don't worry about it, it's already been paid. Amen. It's already been paid. God would do just that, but you cannot tell them unless you have experience. You can't tell them that God is a miracle worker if He never worked a miracle for you. That's right. Amen. You can't say that God is a healer. God is a healer of cancer if you never had cancer. Amen. Can you? You can't say that. But you can talk about that you know. You know, back in the day, they used to talk that you know and testify that you see. So that's what we have to do. We have to talk about that we know. Not that what somebody else said, but what you know for yourself. Your testimony. The Bible says what? We're overcome by our testimony. Yes. We're overcome by our testimony. Sometimes the Lord, yes, ma'am.
And two, when you like somebody asks you today, and they ask you a question like that if God is I told him, the lady came to me one day, she said, you know what? She said, I'm just so tired and pain and going back and forth. I looked at it, I said, I thought about it myself. To myself. Right. I said, you don't know what she's talking about, but I know what I'm being through.
Exactly.
I can't tell her what she has going.
Exactly.
The only thing I can say, you know what? We still got to hold on and trust God.
Exactly. We got to trust God. Yeah. And if you notice, and don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with going to the doctor. But 9 times out of 10, when you go to that, He's going to give you something to take, and then you got to take something to counteract that you're taking. Right. Then you got to take something to counteract. Right. So you end up with a whole bunch of pills. No. And at the end of the day, none of them working. That's right. And guess what? You still got to go back to God. You still have to go back to God. There's nothing wrong with going to the doctor. Trust me. Sometimes you need to go so you know what to go to God for. Right. So they can find out what it is you can say, God, this is my situation here, and I need you to do this.
Move it.
That's it.
Move it out.
Now, how many of y'all understand we can't tell God, you got to do this?
I say, go and move it out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why we can't tell him he got to do this?
They ain't got to do nothing.
Exactly. He ain't got to do nothing. He ain't even got to wake you up in the morning. Like prophet say, Lord, I need you to move.
Yes.
Yes.
I need you to move this.
Yes.
I can't do it by myself. I need you, God,
Yes.
to move this.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is what we have to do. We got to trust God and believe God that he's going to do just what he said he's going to do.
Yes.
Y'all can give me. Yeah. So this is the presence evangelism, telling your testimony,
Yes.
talking about the goodness of the Lord, how the Lord has blessed you. Now, what he has done in your life. You can't say, again, you can't say he's a miracle worker. You can't say, and I remember when Pastor Smith was talking about it, they only had one can of something. And the Lord blessed.
Yes.
Yeah.
The lady down the street didn't know they needed food,
That's right.
Yeah.
but the Lord knew.
Mm-hmm.
And God's got a way. Not only did he bless him with food, he gave him an overflow. But that's the kind of God that we serve.
Yeah.
He will give us an overflow.
Yeah.
But we got to tell, I love that. That is just too cute. Look at you. I can't hang with you. Look at her. That's too cute. And here we are all laying back, and she come here all, oh, Chucky, Chucky. She telling us how we supposed to act, how we supposed to dress. Y'all come on, tell the Lord, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Present evangelism, we're going back to where we was talking about October the 12th. We talked about the 3 kinds of evangelism.
Mm-hmm.
And the first one was presence evangelism. And we said present evangelism is talking about giving your testimony of what God has done in your life.
Yes.
Sharing your faith with others. Sometimes this is also called lifestyle.
Yeah.
Also called lifestyle evangelism. So put that up on the personal evangelism. Put it in parentheses. Lifestyle. Lifestyle evangelism. It's the same as sometimes that's what it's called. The life that you live, the lifestyle evangelism. Okay? All right. On the mission field, presence evangelism, they take the form of medical evangelism or agriculture evangelism. So we got to understand in the Muslim countries, where missionaries are prohibited from entering, Christian businessmen evangelize by their presence. Just being in the midst. Just by their presence. And sometimes you can run into people that you have worked for, some of them are saved. And they will be patient with you. They will work with you. But then you get them people that's cocky, they ain't working with you. They're not going to work with you. It is what it is. Okay, so when people reflect the attitudes or character of Christ, who can tell me what some of the character of Christ is? I know, and I say this all the time, Christian means to be Christ-like. Okay? Who can tell me one character of Christ by the show of hands? One character, Julie's, of Christ.
Love.
Love. What's another character of Christ? This is, as you're saying, that these are some of the things that we are to exemplify in our life. What's another character of Christ? She said love. What else?
Peace.
Peace. What is another one?
Joy.
Joy. What's another one? As I said, the show of hands. Probably Judy.
I do.
You got juju. Well, you you're right. Whatever you're trying to bring, you got that right. Julissa. Patience. Do you not know that's one thing that people of God ain't got?
Exactly.
They ain't got no patience.
Amen.
And I'm telling you, in being a Christian, look at Christ now. Go back and look at Christ. Did he have any patience at all?
Yes, he did.
He sure did.
Mhm.
He had patience. But we said we want to be like Jesus. What happened?
Ain't no one in the world would be like Jesus.
We wouldn't make it.
Sure would.
What happened? We got to be humble. We got to have that patience.
Mhm.
Amen.
We got to have that compassion on our enemies.
That's
Mhm.
right.
We got to have compassion on the ones that don't even like us.
Mhm. Amen.
We got to have compassion on the ones that talk about us. And guess
Amen.
what? You still got to love them.
Amen.
You ain't got to like what they do, but you got to love them.
Amen.
Now, they talked about, and y'all know, why is it people of God can't stand to be talked about? Why that bothers people so bad?
I think that it knocks a person's character because somebody's gonna believe what somebody say about you.
Yeah.
Whether and it could be a lie, but somebody's
Exactly.
gonna believe it and they're gonna take it and they're gonna run with it. And then we're gonna tell that one that before you know it. And then when it get back to you, it's
Totally different. And you know what? People will judge you accordingly to what somebody said. They don't even know you, Jaleesa, but because somebody said, oh, she thinks she cute, they're going to judge you according to what they say. But until they learn you for themselves, and then when they learn you, she's not like they said she was. This is why you can't go by what people say. You got to find out for yourself.
Amen.
So your character means a lot as far as being Christians. And the people of God, I learned people of God, they can't take nothing. Okay, I get you. We say we want to be like Jesus. Let's think about the things that he went through. He was lied on.
Mm-hmm.
He was called everything but child of God. He called everything but Beelzebub. They called him Beelzebub.
Mm-hmm.
He was spit on. He was slapped. He was beat down.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. He was scorned. You're right. He was scorned.
Mm-hmm.
But did he retaliate?
Nope. Nope.
Didn't say a mumbling word. Guess what, y'all? We got some work to do.
Amen.
That's right. The people of God as a whole. Okay, y'all. It's in my head now. Got some work to do. Got some work to do. I'm serious. Because somewhere we're coming up short. Because how many of y'all know that the least thing will set you off?
Yep.
Like Queen Latifah said it off. Anybody see that?
Yes.
Set it off. The least thing that's got next to her. And the thing is, that's not a character that we should have as being the people of God.
Amen.
We should be able to take some things, smile, and keep moving.
Amen.
Sometimes you need to learn how, and when the problem that people of God have, they don't know how to close their mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Every response don't need a response.
That's right.
Every time somebody say something about you, smile and keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
I learned a long time ago, the battle don't belong to me.
That's right.
Amen.
That's right.
How many of y'all believe that?
Amen.
Because the word said so, didn't it?
Amen.
He said the battle is not yours. It belongs to me. He said, vengeance is mine, said the Lord. We believe that, right? So
Amen.
why we try to fight our own battles?
That's true.
Ma'am?
He said he'll repay.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Amen.
Exactly. We don't have to, but that's what we try to do.
Amen.
And then when we make a mess, the first thing we say, God, I should have let God do this. But that's too late. That's a delayed reaction.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to learn how, as the people of God, Lord, this ain't my battle. You fight this battle. You deal with it.
We do have a choice.
Definitely.
We do have a choice.
And the choice is
To do the right thing, let Christ handle it, or go the opposite direction.
exactly. And what normally happens 9 times out of 10. Exactly.
Amen.
We go the opposite direction. But yet still be Christ-like. We're like Christ. We're Christians. We want this. We got this. We got that. We got a lot of work to do.
That's right.
He said, I'm coming back for what's he coming back here for? What kind of people is he coming back here for?
Perfect church. Wow, spot or wink.
That's right. A church without spot or wrinkle.
Mm-hmm.
This is why it's time for the people of God. Y'all, I'm getting ready to go into spiritual warfare. We're going into warfare. We can see what we fight, what we're dealing with. That's the time that we're living in. We got to understand that. Yes, ma'am.
I know whenever my
She was
son
great.
got hurt.
I made it.
I know whenever my son got hurt, and when I got to Jersey, I tell you where it happened at Stevens Street. This was just a lot of people just hang out on there. And boy, when they saw that car pull up, they was like, "Uh-oh, his mom here now."
Mhm.
And I was like, "These people sitting here waiting for the old Ellen."
Exactly.
I went down there when they had drawn his body line.
Uh-huh.
I went down there and danced all in that spot.
Exactly. That's what you got to do because they expected you to go
They
off.
was looking for it.
When a change has come in your life, people are going to see a change in your life. They will be able to see a change in your life. This is present evangelism. This is our character as people of God. We've got a character. We got to be Christ-like. We got to be able to handle things. Don't get me wrong, we're still in the flesh. We have not made it yet.
Amen.
And we will get upset.
Amen.
That happens. We will get upset. But guess what? You ain't got to respond to it.
Amen.
You ain't got to respond to it. Be quiet.
Amen.
That pink tornado that follows you everywhere you go,
Mm-hmm.
it tears up stuff.
Amen.
And what is the pink tornado?
The tongue.
That tongue, the pink tornado. It can build or it can tear down.
Amen.
That's right. 95% of the time in church folk, it tears down.
Amen.
It should not be. But we're supposed to be Christ-like. That's what we
Amen.
said. This is presence evangelism. The way you carry yourself, the character of Christ, we ought to have the character of Christ. Your faith in God, which means a lot, is very important. So this is what we need to do. We got to learn how to trust God no matter what come or what go. We got to be evangelizing to people. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Wow.
by you saying that, I talked to my husband, daughter, and I went to her. She hadn't came and I called her Friday, but she hadn't turned the phone call back. I went on into a prayer, and I began to pray. I said, Lord, you know you're not done anything to nobody. You expect me to pray. Then I was talking to the Lord that other night, and I said, Lord, I don't know why Mary would do me like this, and I have never said a harm word out of my mouth to her, not a harm word. I said, I always treat them like they were my children. I said, I don't know why she resents me. Only thing I'm doing what the nightclub people tell me to do. And down at Littleton. And I told her later, I said, she said she won't sign nothing. And what can I do?
Excuse me, can I interject? It's not you.
What she gotta get?
It's not you. It's the Christ on the inside. If she was where she need to be, if she was saved, sanctified, whatever she needed, she would agree with you. But because of the fact the devil, how many of y'all know the devil know when God's getting ready to bless?
Yes. Yes.
Prime example, how many of y'all remember Daniel prayed?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
3 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
He prayed for 21 days.
Mm-hmm.
And the angel was on his way back.
Mm-hmm.
What happened? He got intercepted because the enemy got in the midst. So what happened? In the process of he bringing the answer back, he had to war with the angel. He had to war with the devil. This is what happens is when the devil doesn't get ready to bless. So I know what I do. I'll get in the midst and I'll stop this. But in the process, you need to give God a yet praise.
Amen.
Whether she do it or not. But see, sometimes, you know what? How many of y'all understand? Like I said, that prayer and praises move God.
Amen.
You can praise your way into whatever you want from God.
Amen.
You can give God the glory. God, this is your problem, it ain't mine.
Amen.
God can make her change her mind.
Amen.
And she'll say, I don't know what she called it, but she can say, I don't know why I'm doing this, but here's my signature. But guess what? At the end of the day, you got to trust God.
Amen.
Don't complain about the God. I tell you, things in your hands. It's
Yeah.
not your battle.
Yes.
The battle belongs to God.
Yeah.
What God has for you, it is for you.
You.
Nobody can't take it.
That's why I was doing my praise dance last night.
And don't only do it then, do every chance you get to do it.
Amen.
Every chance you get to stomp on the enemy's head, stomp on his head, tear his heart out, snatch him all up. Because prayer and praises move God. Yes, ma'am.
I ask you a question. sometimes like when we retaliate, with our mouth, it's making facial expressions, everything is the same. It's still wrong, right?
Yeah.
If you're not, I mean,
because your and we talked about one time before, your facial expression says a whole lot. Sometimes you don't have to say, see, this is why when I be seeing the pulpit thing going on, I be like, I'm trying to help my y'all pray for them, because I be like, what are they saying? Why are they doing that? And sometimes I be sitting there, other people be doing stuff, I be like, what in the world? But your facial expression talks. It talks. It says a whole lot. So you have to be very careful because people are watching.
when you least expect it.
So when you least expect it. When you least expect it, and especially the sinner man is watching. They're looking. And the church people are looking. So we are supposed to have okay. Back it up, Barnes. Okay. Going to be like Christ. We talk about the character of Christ. We to have the attitude of Christ. Did he make all these kind of facial expressions?
No.
He just stood there. And guess what? When he hung on the cross, and they picked at him, even as he hung on the cross, what did he say? The only thing he ended up saying was what? Forgive them. Because they don't know what they're doing. And this, y'all know what? We can say the same thing. Lord, forgive them, but they don't know what they're doing. Because you got to know who you are in God. You got to know who you are in God. You got to be confident in knowing who you are in God. This is the thing. This is the thing. We got to have the attitude. And with that Sunday, when she was preaching about renewing of the mind, we got to have our mind renewed every day. You may not say anything, but how many of y'all know things run through your mind? When people do things and people say things to you, you might not bring it out your mouth, but way back in your mind, you tell them a piece. Exactly, you're right. It's just as bad. Sometimes you ain't got to bring it out your mouth. But guess what? Even though you might not bring out your mouth and you think, you say, you're right. It's just as bad, but God knows your thoughts.
Yeah.
And guess what? It's in the book.
That's right. That's why you say you have to kind of every day, like if a thought like that comes in your mind, you have to repent right quick.
Repent. We have to repent every day. Because we don't know. Sometimes you may think the wrong thing and don't realize it's wrong, but it's wrong. But we need to repent every day. So we got, and the presence is how you present yourself.
Amen.
How you are today. The presence. And we are to have the character of Christ and the attitude of Christ. You might be going through some stuff. Who was that? You. I think you were preaching last night. You ain't got to let nobody know it.
Amen.
You ain't got to let nobody know it. I'm going through. You ain't got to look like you're going through.
But we do.
We do. Why?
Amen.
That flesh.
Yeah.
Our prayer should be, Lord, put this flesh in front of subjection.
Yes, sir.
Help me to die daily
Yes.
from the things of this world. Help this old flesh. Because y'all, let me tell y'all something. There's nothing good in the flesh. The flesh causes you problems. Sometimes the flesh can make some people go to hell. But we got to say, Lord, and we cannot control it. We can't control it. But let God do it.
Yes.
Let God do it. Even our thoughts, our everything. Let God do it. Put this flesh in front of us, and He will.
Yes.
He will. Not only the flesh, y'all, Lord, put these feelings in full subjection. Church people, they hurt my feelings. Well, let your feelings get delivered.
Amen.
Feelings need to be delivered. They hurt my feelings. Get over it. It ain't gonna be the last time your feelings get hurt. This is why we, Lord, help me to be strong.
Yeah.
How many know God can't use no coward soldier? And He's not going to use no weak-kneed Christian.
Nope.
No jelly-back Christian that can't take nothing.
Amen.
We got to learn how, as the people of God, to take some stuff, because in order to take it, in order to make it, you got to take it.
Amen.
When they don't treat you right, smile and keep moving. Yes, sir.
It reminds me of what you preached on Family and Friends Day. What kind of seed
All you sowing.
are you sowing?
That's it.
And it also reminds me, it's like, okay, a person is receiving the word with gladness, but then when the troubles and trials come their way,
You're right. You're right.
Mhm.
That's
You
right.
got a point right there, and it is so. It is so. You can say one thing sitting in the church, but wait, that test is gonna come.
Man.
And guess what, y'all? It's not gonna wait till you get out of the church door. Sometimes it meet you before you can get out of the pew. Yes, ma'am.
I think that's a lot of time when you know, that's when your real character shows.
See, it does.
Mhm.
People, the enemy will try you. I don't care how saved you are. If you're not where you need to be in God, the devil will use you.
Full force.
Yes, sir. He will use you. If you're not where you need to be in God, the devil will use you. And you think you're right.
Two left shoes.
And do you remember the character test that I gave you to just check your own self out? That's something to question your own self about.
That's right.
Man.
We need to examine ourselves. Why we waste time examining everybody else and we all tore up from the floor?
That's right.
We getting ready to get out of here.
Yes.
And as she said earlier, he said, I'm coming back for holy people.
Man.
I'm coming back for clean people. I'm coming back for my children.
Man.
Okay, all right. Your daughter is your identical twin.
Yes.
That girl is just like you. And nobody can tell me that's not your daughter.
That's right.
Man.
Now, we are God's children. We should be able to walk in the midst and somebody say, oh, I know that's a child of God. Oh, I can't say that right there, but that's a Christian right there. They should see that in your life. But what happens when you come in the midst and they joking and jesting and laughing and lying and cussing, they still keep moving, they ain't thinking about you. What's wrong with that picture? What's wrong with it? Exactly. They don't respect you. They don't respect you. And you know, we've got something coming up to do. There's some changes that need to be made in our lives. I can't judge you. It's not my place to judge you. But it's coming back. And everything, and like I said before, it's written down in the book. Yes, ma'am.
What we fail to realize, I'm talking about all of us as Christians,
As a whole, yes.
that these things are gonna come to distract you, to attack you, whatever the case may be. Lies, facial expressions, maybe say a word or two every now and then. This is coming. God knew it was gonna come.
Oh, he knows
But we
that.
got to get to the point where we realize, or well, not realize, we got to believe what the word says. Okay, this is gonna happen. She's not liking me. I'm according to her face, but she'll never know.
Exactly.
She'll never know that I know.
Exactly.
And we got to walk that way.
Got to.
It's not faking. You just got to do it. And that's like ignoring the devil. And if you ignore him long enough, you're going to somebody else.
Exactly. Because I can't get over on them.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the end of what she says, it's another scripture that says, be harmless as doves and wise as serpents.
Wise as a serpent.
That's right. That's right.
We got to be wise.
That's right.
And he will give us the wisdom. He's any man lack of wisdom that acts
That is
man.
actually what he said.
That's what he said. So we have got to have that.
Yeah.
We've got to. Do y'all remember, and I'm sure you should still have it, do y'all still have the spiritual warfare book that I gave you? Have y'all really, really read some of the strategies that the enemy uses? Have you really, really read and studied the strongholds
My God.
that the enemy uses? Beware. These things are coming. And you got to recognize this is just a trick of the enemy. Do you remember the test that I showed you, the different tests that leaders go through? And I say this all the time, and y'all, I kid you not, I bless myself with those same tests. Because I go back and say, okay, God, I'm going through something right now. Let me see what I'm going through. Why you allow me to go through this? And I can recognize the test that I'm going through.
Man.
I can recognize it because I went back and I looked at it. Sometimes you need to go back and say, okay, now Lord, I know you done told me this coming, but let me see why you let me go through this here. But at the end of the day, out of all those tests, he allowed us to go through that he can get the glory. That he can get the glory.
Yes.
So I'm looking over what you gave us, the character assessment for ourselves. And let me just read maybe all of them, some of them.
Go ahead.
And whatever stands out at you, that's what we got to work on.
Yeah.
said, do I stay in close communion with the Holy Spirit?
See?
Well, if you don't have the Holy Spirit, you can't stand in close communion. Do I accept the Bible as the word of God? And if we do, we're gonna do what the word said do.
Exactly.
Amen.
The church one as a whole, yes.
Right. Do I love God's people?
Some of them don't even like them.
That's right.
That's right.
They say they love, but they don't even like you. Don't even really want to be dealing with you. They just putting up with you.
Do I identify with God's people in respect and special, the specific local church?
See? Think about it. Do I do these things?
Listen, listen. Do I willingly submit to authority?
Wow.
Mm.
How do y'all understand? Now, let me stop you right there. How do you understand people think because they get a certain age,
Come on.
quote unquote, you ain't got to listen to somebody younger than
Come
you
on
are.
now.
That's not it.
I'm old enough to be your daddy.
Well,
I'm old enough to be your mom. So what?
that's right. So
Big
what?
deal. What do you got to do to your child?
Hmm.
You got to listen to somebody.
Amen.
And that younger person might could tell you
That's
something
it.
that will make you put a question in your mind. Maybe I need to get myself together. Sometimes they don't want, some people don't want to listen to authorship. They don't want to listen to leadership. Okay? That's not cool. Now, when you reject leadership, you're not rejecting, you think you're rejecting them, but you're not, you're rejecting God.
That's right.
Sometimes when they're ministering in the pulpit, when they're ministering and they hit your situation,
Hmm.
people get attitude. Who done told them this?
That's
Ain't
it.
nobody told them nothing
That's right.
but God.
But God.
Amen.
You want to get mad with somebody? Get mad with God. And I guarantee you ain't God. You ain't bold enough to get mad. You're not strong enough to fight him. God is a revealer. God will go in your closet. He will go in your bedroom. He'll go in your bathroom. He'll go in your prayer room. But the thing is this, we got to know, Lord, the Bible lets us know we got to be respected. We got to honor those that God has given us to be over our soul.
That's right.
And when we disrespect our leaders, you know, we always tell our children, you got to obey your parents. When you don't obey them, you make your own life short. Guess what? You're doing the same thing. Do y'all remember I said that Pastor was the daddy, First Lady was mama, and Pastor Simon was the grandmother. These three people, you have to respect them for who they are.
Amen.
You got to respect them. Because how do you expect to get respect when you don't give respect? You got to give respect. You might not like what they say, but you got to give them respect. You don't talk. I remember back in the day, I ain't that old, I'm old enough, but back in the day, people would talk to leadership any kind of way.
That's right.
They would talk to pastors any kind of way. Now they don't even care.
What they say?
They don't care. They have lost respect for leadership. Sometimes, and I'm using an example. When I have a church, and I think I've told y'all this before, when I went in, I have no family. And it was very small. My sister was a part of my ministry, but she did not see me as Faith. That's what they call me, Faith. I was Pastor Barnes. My husband didn't see me as Al, because he never called me by my real name. He don't call me Al. He saw me as Pastor Barnes. Because I told him when I come in this door, I ain't got no family.
That's right.
Sometimes leadership, pastors, leaders, bishops, overseers, you got to demand respect. Because if you don't, they're going to try to demand respect from you.
That's right. That's right.
But you got to demand respect. And when you talk to them any kind of way, that's not cool.
That's not good.
God is right. The angel is standing right there when you in your mouth, writing everything down that you said and how you said it and the attitude that you said it in. And it's coming up again.
That's right.
Because y'all know some books going to be open.
That's right. That's right.
Some books are going to be
That's
open.
right.
And guess what? It's going to be in the book.
My God.
And you can't say you didn't do it because it's written down the date, the time, and where you at. Okay? The Bible said, obey them that have rule over you.
Amen.
We got to learn how to give respect to leadership.
Amen.
We got to learn how to give. and the pastor say, do this, just do it. You don't want to do it, just do it. Just because she said so, or she said so. They say, come to the Bible study, come to Bible study. They say, fast. Okay? If they don't even tell you how long to fast, if you fast an hour, at least you're fasting.
That's right.
At least you're fasting. So we got to learn as leadership, as being in leadership, those that family right there, that grandmother, that pastor, that dad, and that mom, they are your parents. You got to respect them. How many of y'all taught y'all grandma in the kind of way? My grandma didn't play. My grandma knew how to grasshopper. She didn't play. She was like, girl, I'll be out. Okay, go ahead. But you have to be careful. They didn't, no grandparents back in the day, man. You talk back there, you be sucking on soup. They knock your teeth all the way out. You be sucking on soup. Can't eat no fried chicken. Yes, ma'am.
I would advise every one of us in this class to get our character assessment paper again.
Go back and look it over.
And really read this paper.
Yes.
Because this is going to take us to the next level.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the only way you'll make that. You got to examine yourself. That character assessment is not assessing, okay, say I had that. It's not assessing you for me, it's assessing me for me.
That's right.
I can't look at this paper and find somebody else on here.
Exactly. You got to look at yourself. Let's go back and review this all over again. Go back and look at it all over again. Lord, where am I coming up short? Show me where I'm coming up short.
Yes.
Don't show me where Sister Robinson coming up. No, Lord, show me where I'm coming up short.
That's right.
Now, if she coming short, that's her problem. That's between her and God. But if I'm coming up short, Lord, show me
That's right.
where I'm coming up short. Help me to get it together.
That's what
Now,
we're talking about.
I don't ask God to humble me. I will not ask God to humble me. Because you never know when He will take me through. I say, God, help me to humble myself. I'm telling you. Y'all be careful what you ask God to do. Oh, good Lord from Zion. You'd be surprised what He allowed you to go through. But God help me to humble myself before the hands of Almighty. But there, y'all know what? If you would sit here for 2 seconds and think about yourself, this is coming up.
That's right. That's right.
Yes, ma'am.
But you know what though? I was sitting here thinking, and I was telling my one of my sisters the other day, and we was talking about something. They was talking about guys and stuff like that, men and stuff like that. And like I was always the sister that would always, like put my little 2 cents in about something like this and third. This and third. I try to, what I'm saying, I see it before she see it and try to help us, what I'm saying, and see it or something or whatnot. But as I got older and got wiser, I see now like I keep my mouth closed about a lot of stuff and I don't say much about nothing because at the end of the day, like when I go up there before God, He ain't gonna be worried about what nobody else.
Exactly.
What nobody else
Exactly.
is about me and stuff that I need. So
Exactly.
like, every day I focus more on me. So like
Exactly.
I sit down there like, oh, this don't no more. Like she, like they call me and talk. I don't add my 2 cents in. I just listen.
Exactly.
Okay, might give some positive stuff about this and third, but as far as like. Before like nah, because the end of the day, you always say you put one, but you still got 4 days.
Exactly. And y'all know what? Sometimes people can talk so much. They tell you a whole lot. You ain't got to say a word. They tell you a whole lot. Yes, sir.
Let me add in the one she said. I don't always say there's a scripture somewhere, but there's a scripture somewhere there's a scripture somewhere that says be swift to hear, slow to speak.
Exactly.
Slow
That's
to
right.
anger.
Exactly. That's what you do. Well, we gotta learn. We gotta go by the word. I'm telling you, there's a job. That's the highway to heaven. Route 66. That's the highway to heaven. If you stay on Route 66, you'll make it. But if you just get on 67, I don't know where you're at. Because there's only 66 roads. And once you stay on Route 66, you're good to go. If you go according to the word of God. All right? Any questions? All right. Also, It says when people reflect the attitude and character of Christ, they are witnessing the gospel. They are witnessing the gospel. Also included present evangelist is what is usually called charity or social action, giving a cold cup of water in the name of Christ. Does anybody want to feedback on that?
What you say again? Charity and social.
Charity or social action, giving a cold cup of water in the name of Christ. When you can help, and you know you can help, and you don't, what's your problem? What's wrong with you? Who that? Mary said, I love God. What's wrong with you? Woo! But when you know you can be there for your sister, brother in Christ, and you share your bowels of compassion, what is that saying about you? But you want to be like Jesus. He was a compassionate God. And guess what? He still is. Even though we don't do right, he's still there. He still have compassion on us. He still wakes us up every morning. He already know what your day gonna be like, but anyway, he still wakes us up in our right mind and have the activity of our limbs. We may be in pain, but he gives us the activity of our limbs. But yet still, you need my help. That's Pastor White. He get paid. Let him do it. Duh. You never know what God will do for you just by blessing her. Sometimes the Lord will speak to somebody to bless a man or woman of God, and they won't do it. They won't do it. Because they're looking at the outer appearance. You don't really know what's really going on. Sometimes, even in church, you know how the pastor say, go hug your neighbor.
That's right.
I go way over here. They don't even need a hug. You don't know what she's going through. You don't know. Sometimes, y'all, I found this to be true. Sometimes a hug makes a big difference.
Yes.
A hug you ain't got to give me no money. You ain't got to say good things about me. Sometimes all I need is a hug.
Yes.
That just takes away everything.
Yes.
And then sometimes when the pastor say that, people are like, especially you don't really care much for that person, but you say, sanctify, Holy Ghost, feel fire baptized, brother from life. Everybody else was about me, tell them, say, I bet we didn't do it. Be quiet, just go sit down. People need deliverance, yes.
That's how I used to do. People that I knew that had said something, called me something not like me, would say, baby, I said, well, how you doing today?
Exactly. People ain't gonna do that though. Some people will not do that. They will they rather ignore you. Sometimes you even heard the pastor say, in different churches, you see people do it. Go tell your neighbor you love them. Won't even budge. And if they do, they go, all right, and he'll see you to a certain person just to tell you. Sometimes he tell you to go to your enemy, tell you to go. No, I'd rather go tell somebody that's familiarity.
You know, I had that issue one time. I had went to a church before. It was my ex-boyfriend's mother church and invited me for some kind of event. And she had also invited the boys, my ex-girlfriend's mom too. And we've always had a little falling out because of the whole issue. And so I was there and me and my niece, I had came to the service and had me and my niece and the lady came in like she sat beside my niece or whatnot. And we was all in on it and everybody else like her behind us or whatnot. And like now the whole time I'm thinking like the women is, you know what I'm saying, Holy Ghost filled, you know, and she's the one running through the church, running around the church and all the songs, set it up, singing happy hallelujah and all the songs. So
all loud.
yeah, so the pastor was like, you know, stand up and get somebody else. So I go and I turn around and give the lady who invited me a hug and somebody else to her a hug. So you know, the lady now say one hallelujah. She walks by my niece and she walks by me and goes to give, you know what I'm saying, the people a hug. And then she walks back around me to go back
Pass
to the
you.
seat. Yeah. And I'm like, now, I thought you was, you know what I'm saying? We supposed to be past this whole thing. I'm passing this. I'm the person who was hurt from it.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like in the same sense. And you just gonna walk by me.
See?
Like, just walk by me. Not one time, but twice.
You know what I'm saying?
And still praising God, hallelujah, after that. Just running around the church. But with all that in yourself. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I say, church.
Church folk.
Right.
Church folk. There's a difference in church folk and saints.
That's right. That's right.
Real people of God. There's a difference. There's a difference. So there, your character has a lot to do with it. Any questions before we move on? You got to love people. I don't care. They might not do like you think they're supposed to do, but you still got to love them. Because God loves us, and we definitely don't do the way He act, everything He thinks we should be acting. Yes, ma'am.
Well, by me coming in late, what was our topic for today?
We're going back over the
Three kinds of
three kinds of evangelism.
Oh, you wrote it down there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you see it?
No.
Oh,
Three
three kinds of evangelism.
See that?
One is presence evangelism. That's what we're talking about now. And up under that, I put parentheses lifestyle evangelism. You go. I'm
It's
sweating.
coming here. I think the air is on, to be honest with you.
I'm sorry, I'm not, because I'm just moving around. That's why I'm sweating and hot. But personal presence evangelism, proclamation evangelism, and persuasion evangelism. We talked about presence evangelism October the 12th. I went through that already before. I'm just recapping and reviewing into more depth because we didn't have that much time to go into that. But that is the presence evangelism. Okay? Whatever the Lord lay on your heart to do something, do it. Do it for the person. Do it for the person. If He give you a kind word to say to somebody, say it.
That's right.
You don't know what, you never know what God's going to do for you just by being obedient. How many of y'all understand obedience than sacrifice?
Man.
Have you ever, Lord, let me ask you a question. Have you ever, the Lord spoke to you to do something to a person or say something to a person and you didn't say it and somebody else came right behind you and said it to that person? You know, miss your blessing. Because you didn't, no, they didn't want to hear what I got to say.
Yeah.
They don't want to, no. I don't care what they want to hear what I got to say or not. I'm going to be God. I don't care whether they like me or not. They'll get over like a bad cold. It's all right. You know, cold don't last long. They'll get over it. So that's it for presence. Presence evangelism. Presence evangelism. What we'll talk about. Okay? It's always about giving you the testimony of what Christ has done for you in your life and sharing your faith with others. That's the presence. Now we're going to go to proclamation. Any questions on the presence evangelism? Okay? Okay. I'm going to give y'all a few minutes right now because I know you haven't got all that. It's presence, proclamation, proclamation, proclamation. Proclamation, I'm saying for a second. And the third one is persuasion. 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 Okay? No, we all finished writing that down. Proclamation, evangelism. These are the three kinds of evangelism. They're so different. These are not the only kind, but there are so many different kinds. But these are the kind that Dr. Wagner, a growth consultant, used as far as evangelism is concerned. But there are so many different types of evangelism. There are different types that we evangelize, different ways that we evangelize. Okay? All righty. Let's move on to proclamation evangelism. Christians make the good news of Jesus Christ clearly known so that the lost will understand. How are you going to witness? How are you going to witness to somebody? How are you going to tell them you need to be saved and all this stuff? And they're trying to be saved, what to say? What that means?
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And all you can say is, well, you need to be saved. And you can't explain to them what being saved means. Okay? All right?
Man.
So you got to be able to, y'all, I'm about ready to do another.
Role play.
Yep. Yes, sir.
That's why we gotta study to show ourselves approved what work but not need to be ashamed.
We got to do that. Thank God this boy knows the word.
Yeah.
Because and sometimes that's all you gotta do is give people the word.
Man.
Now, role play. I need two people. I don't have to draft nobody. I need some volunteers. Two people. One is a sinner and the other is a Christian. But you're gonna witness to that sinner. They're going through some stuff. You're gonna witness to that sinner about salvation. Show me how you're gonna do it. Don't let me have to draft. Dude's like, I ain't looking at me.
I play as the sinner.
Okay. Daryl said he'll play as a sinner. First lady's getting up. You're gonna be the Christian. Come on. She's gonna witness to you because you're going through some stuff and you're at a point now where you're tired. You know, sometimes we can get sick and tired of being sick and tired. Mm-hmm. And you want to change, but you don't know how. But you happen to run into this lady in the parking lot at Walmart. There you go. Talk to her. You talk to her first. Let her talk to you first about the situation, and then it's in your hand.
Hey, how you doing? I'm just tired. I'm just really tired of everything. What I've been going through, and it's like everybody be talking bad about me, and I'm just so tired of it.
Well, have you thought about well, you say you're tired of it, and people are talking about you?
Yes, I'm tired of people talking about me.
Well, do you listen to everything people say? Do you take it in? How do you receive it when they talk about you? Do you go somewhere and hide in the corner, or somewhere and hold your head down and cry, or do you try to pray sometimes? Do you know what prayer means?
No, I don't.
Okay.
No.
Well, it's in the Holy Scripture, and it tells us to love you and take care of you. And I just want to give you a hug.
Y'all see?
That everything gonna be all right.
See?
And if we give it to Jesus, and, even if you don't know what being saved is, it's what the Scripture says. You know, when you be saved, it's give your life, turn your life over to the Lord, and show Him, you know, the things that you're hurting with and you're going through. He's able to take care of it, and He'll erase some of this from you if you just show Him that you're hurting. Just let Him know that you're hurting, and that hurts you. Mm-hmm. And they won't do that no more. Just do another hug.
Now, y'all see this?
Mm-hmm.
That's all he needed. Mm-hmm. Why? Because he said, people have been talking about me. Mm-hmm. People have been talking about me, and I'm tired of them talking. I don't know why they're talking about me. And that's all he needed, because the expression on his face changed. Yes, it did. She said, just let me give you a hug. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you can recognize when people needs a hug. Now, he's ready to commit suicide. Mm-hmm. How you gonna deal with? Talk to her. You're at the point. You're at your breaking point. You can't take it no more. And I'd just rather be dead. I just want to commit suicide. I want to do this. Now she got to encourage you not to do that. She got to talk you out of that.
Yeah, they still talking about me, and and my mom's really upset with me, and my parents upset with me. My father's upset with me, and then everybody pretty much upset with me, and then I'm at my job, and then everybody's mad at me, and they don't want to do with me, and I just feel like I'm gonna kill myself.
Oh no, we don't want you to do that. Don't do that, because if you say you're not in Christ, and if you take your whole life, then you're going to end up somewhere and you're really going to be hurt. You're not going to want to go to that place. Just stop and think about what you are saying. You don't want to take your life, but you want to live, because there's something better for you than trying to commit suicide. So just give him a big hug.
Mhm.
Oh,
Mhm.
don't do that. Okay? God loves you. Even if you think the person don't love you, God loves you, and even I love you too, Mr. Moore. I really do.
Come on, y'all. Give him a hand clap. Give him a hand clap. So at the end of the day, he felt that love. She didn't beat him down. You know, you must be doing something wrong to be they talking about. No. She had and if you notice, she came to him how? In an humble manner.
Yes.
That, and then also, not only she told me to love her, the word said what? With kindness and love have I done wrong. Now, because she showed him love and kindness, he's going to go home and he's going to think about this.
Yeah.
He's going to think about it. So this is what we got to learn how to do. We got to proclaim the Christ, the life. We got to learn how to witness to them. Being an evangelist means to witness.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Would it also be appropriate after she said what she said to him, at the closing, when she got ready to go her way, he went his way, would it be appropriate to say, well, look, young man, my name is such and such, here's my phone number. If you need me, if you think about stuff like that, give me a call. Anytime of the day or night, it doesn't matter.
Definitely. Because sometimes when people have that suicidal spirit, they need somebody to talk to. Let me tell y'all something. I'm not telling you what I heard. I'm telling you what I know. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt proof.
Yes.
And if I had a cap, I'd wear it backwards.
Mm.
I tried to commit suicide.
Mm-hmm.
I was being mental abuse and physical abuse at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody has not been in that situation don't know what it's like.
Yeah.
Mental abuse is bad enough by itself. But when you're being physical abuse and mental abuse at the same time, that's holy terror. And I was in such a shape that I remember, I'll never forget, I went in my bathroom, I looked in the mirror, and my face was disfigured. I was at the point, I was going through so much that I would do like a hermit, and I would get in the corner and sit there. Because I was like, Lord, I can't take this. I won't save y'all. I was not saved. I said, I can't take this. I'd rather kill myself. I was on Valiums, and I took 18 Valiums at 10 milligrams, tried to kill myself because I felt like if I would kill myself, I would have to deal with that. But guess what? The devil never told me I ended up in hell.
That's right.
He would say, just go ahead and do this. You ain't got to worry about it somewhere. And what happened was, I went by my mama's house, and there's a place in Bush Creek, a mental health center. I was going down there to commit my own self. And I stopped, and I just happened to stop in my mama's house. And she said, Faye, where you going? I said, I'm on my way to Bush Creek. She said, where you going? I said, I'm going to commit myself. She said, commit. I said, because I'm tired. I'm tired. She said, oh, no, you're not doing that. She took me to this woman of God, powerful woman of God, and they prayed the prayer of faith and showed me love and showed me that God is able to take care of it. And you know what? I thank God. I can tell you, God is able.
Yes.
Y'all, I've been through some stuff. And even taking the Valium, when I went to the hospital for them to put my stomach, I got mad because they didn't do nothing. I got mad because I wouldn't go to sleep. Ain't that crazy? But God had a plan.
Yes.
God had a plan. It was not my time to go. So people that has that suicidal spirit, they need love. And even if they get their deliverance, your girlfriend, she needs love. Your friend needs love. She needs you to shelter her.
Yes.
Because the enemy will play with her. The enemy will play with your mind when she's going through stuff. But when I go through some stuff, the enemy say, "Craig," I said, "Devil, you is a lie."
Yes.
I've been delivered a long time ago.
Yes.
You know, I said, if I die, it won't be because of you, because it's my time to go.
Yes.
But this battle is not mine. And see, people that have that suicidal spirit, they really need to be loved. They really, because they feel like nobody cares, and it was like I had nobody to talk to. You know, the fighting, you know, and the fussing. I'm not a confrontational person, and I don't like nobody yelling at me. I just don't like nobody yelling at me, and I couldn't take it. And that's what and the enemy would tell me that's your easy way out. And how you know the devil will talk to you?
Amen.
He will talk. I won't save it, and because I won't say, and I drinking it didn't do it, doing drugs that didn't do it, but I was just like, okay, let me take this pills, I'm getting up out of here. Didn't work. Go ahead.
It's the same thing with one of my grandsons. He tried that. Just so happened that day, he normally goes home after school, but that day he came to my house. And I was saying to myself, so when it was taking so long back there in that room to change them clothes? And he had the belt, had made the noose on it and everything. And he said he just tired of stuff that was happening in school, and just everything that was going on. It was like every day it was something. And he just said, he just feel like nobody cares. And he just went through this whole long run. Anyway, they called the rescue squad and police and all of them came out. And they carried him down to the hospital, and they wanted to send him off. They took all his clothes and everything and put him in some, whatever you call it, suit. They put on one of them, and they wanted to send him down to Jacksonville, Wilmington, somewhere. And I told him, no, you can't send him away. So let me go back in and talk to him. And he finally, they let him come back home with me that evening. But I'll be watching him now, and I tell my daughter all the time, you got to keep an eye on him.
Yes.
I told her just the other day, so you need to get him back in church.
Yeah.
He's been out of church a long time, so you need to put him back in church. And you need to get back in church. I said, because that spirit is still on him.
Yeah. And he's not having to think, the prayers is what's really keeping him.
Amen.
The prayers is what's keeping him. He don't have it, he don't know what to do and how to deal with it. But the prayers, y'all, I'm telling you, the prayers do some stuff. Now, what the role play that you just saw is a part of proclamation. She talked about the goodness of the Lord. She witnessed to him. That's a part of evangelism, y'all. That's a part of evangelism. There was two different scenarios there. First of all, he just got tired of people talking about him. He didn't know what to do. He was just fed up. He just, somebody was talking about me and put me down, and I'm doing the best I can. How many know? I don't care how much good you do, people gonna talk about you.
Right.
You do good, they're gonna talk about you. You do bad, they're gonna talk about you. You might as well do what God tell you to do, keep it moving. Because they're gonna talk about you anyway.
Role play.
Yeah, we did role play, and then whenever he came and talked about, well, you know what, I'm tired. Everybody's against me. Mama against me. Dad against me. Church folks against me. My friends against me. I'm having a problem on the job. I'm just tired. I just rather kill myself. She went to him in love.
Yes.
She went to him in love. She didn't go to him in like.
Right.
Y'all, there's a difference in like and love.
Yes.
She went to him in love and ministered to him. And I'm sure he had second thoughts. You know, somebody do care about me. Everybody's not against me.
That's right.
Okay, so those are two things, two different scenarios that you just saw. Because sometimes people, I'm a visual person. I like to see stuff for myself. Tell me anything, I want to see it. I'm a visual person. I'm a visual learner. So this is what we have to, as far as evangelize. The time that we're living in now, y'all, we're going to run into some people that's going through some stuff.
Yes.
And I'm not really talking about the sinner man.
That's right.
Church folk that's going through stuff. And they don't need for you to beat them across the head.
That's right.
They need you to lift them up, encourage them. The way person, the only time you look down on the man is when you're lifting them up. Yes, ma'am.
You'd be surprised at the Christian people that are sitting up in the house of God contemplating suicide.
Sure.
Simply because they don't feel any love in the house of God.
Exactly. The love has left, per se, the house of God.
That's right.
There's so much jealousy, so much division in the house of God. It's time to bring the love back in the house.
Yeah.
The word said judgment is going to begin where? In the house of God. Yes, ma'am.
You know, I think back now, I'm not that old either, but still I remember a lot. I mean, to go forward is what you know that. Like when I was a child, I remember people in the neighborhood going from house to house. You heard so-and-so sick down the street. They needed something. Or just go to see what they needed. And then don't say, well, is anything you need, I'll do it. You can already see that something needs to be done.
That's right.
You have to do it. Or we don't do it no more. I know we're afraid to do it. Don't want to go by somebody's nasty house or what. I know what it is.
But you have to be careful nowadays.
Yeah, that's true too.
You have to be careful nowadays. Back in the day, that was permissible.
Yeah.
But nowadays, people just so Something trifling, I don't know. They don't know who to trust anymore.
That's right.
And you used to think you could trust church people. You can't even trust them folks no more. They cause you problems. Okay? Any questions? That is the proclamation, proclaiming. And listen to this. To evangelize is so to present Christ in the power of the Holy Spirit, that men and women shall come to put their trust in God through him, to accept him as their Savior, just like that role play she just did. She presented God. You got to present him. Now, so what we're going to do is proclamation is simply proclaiming the gospel in the power of Holy Spirit and leaving the results to God. You give it to him and let God do the rest. That's all you can do. You can't make people get saved. You can't make people live right. You can't make people act right. Just give them to God. You give them the word and let God do the rest. Hezekiah said, the word will make you clean inside. That's what he said. Hezekiah said, the word will make you clean inside. Okay? We're going to stop right here. There, you can cut that from right now. Proclamation. Proclamation is simply proclaiming. Let me do this.